welcome to Clone Talks with Tatiana. This is my new podcast for my YouTube channel where I speak about spiritual consciousness from a different angle on general topics, current events, also personal growth, life mysteries. I am so thankful that y'all are checking out my podcast. Thank y'all so much for entering this podcast, and let's get started. All right. So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Clone Tatiana. Once again, I am a spiritual coach, a spiritual guide, an energy reader. I have been posting videos on YouTube since about 2019, and we are about to hit one of my biggest milestones, which is 34,000 subscribers. I could be a little bit further if I was doing things more worldly, but I choose not to. I am here to lead the unaware spirits in the right direction. I am here to help you on your journey. I am here to answer any questions. I am here to support my spiritual siblings in their journeys as they walk along the darkness that the world plays upon us. I really want to thank each and every one of y'all for supporting me throughout the years. And I also want to thank each and every one of the new subscribers and new spirits who will find me in their perfect timing. Thank you for being open. Thank you for even listening. And thank you for even being able to receive information from me. So, I started this podcast, Clone Talks with Tatiana, to be able to create a deeper conversation and connection with my audience and my subscribers as a whole. Also, y'all have been asking me to start this podcast to be able to explain some of the things that I be saying in my videos, which is very understandable. If y'all see me looking down, I'm just reading because I've wrote down a couple of things so I can keep my mind straight. Y'all know how I can get. Okay? No, I'm joking, but I'm not. But yeah, listen, like seriously. So that is the whole point of me starting this podcast. This platform on YouTube does allow me to get this spiritual message out further, and it is also able to reach people who is in darkness and they've been receiving messages and they've been receiving signs spiritually, but they just don't know if it's real or if it's something that is truly coming from the creator and not darkness. Because when you are in the darkness and you're not spiritually aware fully, your mind can tell you you are doing things wrong when you're actually doing them correct. And you hearing somebody say exactly what you've been receiving is all that a person could need. And that is my job, is to speak. Even if other people do not agree, I am speaking to the ones that know what I am saying, and I don't have to explain it to them any further. Okay? So, my goal is to attract those spirits who are in the darkness and they just need someone to speak to them, and I am here for them. I totally understand that me posting videos on social media will attract individuals who are not on the same vibration and they don't perceive the world how I perceive the world or how some of y'all perceive the world, but they are none of our business and they are not any of my business because I'm not speaking to them. So I am okay with the negative feedback that I will get, because when you're speaking truth, you're always going to get negative feedback, even if it's not somebody else's truth. So I'm okay with that. So, on this first episode, I really just wanted to dig deeper into who I am. I get a lot of certain questions a lot, so I wanted to answer a couple of questions that I've been receiving and just give y'all more transparency on who I am. I am extremely private. I am a private person, so that can come off very like I'm hiding things, but I'm not hiding nothing. I'm just a private person. All right, so my spiritual journey started in 2015. During that time period in my life, I was just going through a lot, trying to do what the world says, but your heart and your mind is also telling you that you have a different purpose and there's something different that you should be doing. But because the world tells you to go against yourself, you continue on this journey of trying to do things the way that the world tells you, and it just does not work out. Well, in my personal life, April 15th of 2015 is when everything came to a head for me. I was not having a good day on that day. So I decided to sit down and watch The War Room. It just popped on. On that day, things just started happening, and I just kept seeing that movie. And I've always said her name, but Sheila Marie, Ace Hood's wife, now wife, back then they was just dating, but she posted a video about that movie on her Instagram. So I'm like, okay, let's watch it, you know what I mean? And in the movie, it's an older lady who is pretty much just leading this married couple, and she leading the wife. The husband is acting up, her marriage is going to craps, and she just don't know what to do. So she told the wife to, make space for God. Create a space where you and God can have a conversation every day. When you're crying, when you're happy, make that space only for God. And I did exactly that. I copied everything. My energy was just telling me that is exactly what I was supposed to do. So everything that they did in that movie, I did. At that time period, I just started to feel my energy speak. During that time period, I didn't know that that is what it was. I just felt like this is what I'm supposed to do. Now I'm more aware, so I know it's my energy and a communication from the spiritual world. And after I did that, life just started to change. I will go in that room to cry. I will go in that room to have my breakdowns. But on April 15th, specifically, it was like a light switch went off, and the creator, God, was like, okay, she's ready to receive all the information that I have for her. And after I walked out of that room, I just started to recognize signs. I started to recognize when God was speaking to me. I was able to just recognize when God was speaking to me, pretty much. Personally, I do believe in angels. We all come to this planet with a spiritual crew that includes the creator and your support system. My support system is what I call angels. Some people call them ancestors, whatever, I don't know. But for me personally, in my relationship and what God allows me to do, I just prefer to say the word angels because that's just the most positive word for me. It does not make me feel like I'm doing anything that will replace the creator. Nothing comes before the creator except for myself. I will explain that on a later episode. But yes, so that is where I am and where I started from, which is leading me to where I am today to answer the question of where do I get my information? I get my information from the spiritual world. I get my information from the creator. God will use signs. God will use people. God will use everything to speak to you. But the way that God speaks to you directly will be very different from other people. How God speaks to me, God will not speak to you. What God allows me to do, God will not allow you to do. We are all on a individual journey that has nothing to do with each other, but it does in some ways, which is why I've always said we are on an individual journey, but we are also part of the collective. So while you are a part of the collective, you are also on your individual journey, like I just said before. And a lot of the things that I see in this country of America is that people do not take self accountability for their individual journey, and they blame the collective for what is happening in their individual life. When what we allow and what we don't allow in our individual life is a reflection of the collective. The collective is the world as a whole. We are a part of a whole world, but we are also living in and on our individual journeys. So, one of my core principles that I genuinely live by is that no one is responsible for you. You are responsible for yourself. And when you are responsible for yourself, you won't have any time or any place to blame anybody else for what is going on in your life because you're taking responsibility for everything that's happening in your life. And you're going to become so self aware that you're not even able to allow people to walk in your life to do harm to you or create static. It is essential that we take ownership of our emotions and our journey. Being a part of the collective will make you think that you have no power in your life, but your power comes from you, which is why the collective as a whole is weak. Like America and everything that is going on with Trump. Everything that is going on in the world is a reflection of each and every one of us in our individual lives. And a lot of us are living like children, as if we have no power in our life and there's somebody watching over us, our parents, but we have power. This perspective that I have just given y'all with the nobody's responsible for you is one of the biggest transformative things that the creator has been able to download within me that has totally changed myself and the people that has been following me for so long. But the main reason for me creating this channel is to genuinely teach y'all how to find your seat of power. We all have a position of power, but we have to find it. And the only way that you are going to find it is by not blaming other people and not making other people responsible for you. So, when you make people responsible for you, that tells someone who is spiritually aware that you are very much still connected with your mind and you're not aware and you are truly not on your spiritual journey. Because if you have any type of spiritual growth or you're even on a journey, one of the first things that the creator or your spiritual team teaches you is how to be independent. One of the biggest signs that somebody needs or is required to start their spiritual journey is when they're walking around blaming everybody else for what is going on in their life. If you have any type of darkness, if you have any type of pain that is on a consistent basis and it's not solving itself and it's not moving on and you're not going to the next issue and the next issue and the same thing keeps popping up time after time and time again, you are the issue. Nobody else is the issue. It is you. And that is another reason why I started my channel, because I genuinely want to help my spiritual family learn that we would not have to receive as much pain as we do if we took full control and dictation over our life, especially with my black people. I love y'all dearly. I do. But some of the things that we go through is self-inflicted, but that is only coming from a place of not loving yourself and not being spiritually connected, not religiously connected. So, for the second question, I am asked this question a lot, but the question is, how do I know what I'm saying is wrong or right? Well, before I gotta say anything or I do anything, I must receive a sign from the creator. The creator has to make me feel a certain way for me to say things so I can know that it is something that I should be saying. So I will get a certain feeling that I really don't want to disclose due to the privacy between me and the creator. But there's a certain feeling that I just get when I know that I'm supposed to. And even if I don't do it, the feeling will keep happening continuously. Um, I really don't post on everything that I see because I'm also very aware that sometimes your mind can tell you to do things continuously, even though it should not say anything, which is why God knows that God has to send me a confirmation feeling or a confirmation sign, because sometimes my mind be wanting to speak on things because we know how to word things, but there's just times that we should not be speaking on it. I have messed up a few times on speaking on things that I shouldn't have, but life happens. But yeah, so God communicates with me in a certain way, which is what I was saying earlier. God will speak to you in an individual way. Let me say something. I see a lot of people, Christians. No, let's stop. I see a lot of Christians who speak on people who do things differently from the church, and they claim that it's the devil, and they claim that it's darkness, and they claim that, oh, well, you can't be talking to God. And this is why I always tell everybody, go and seek the creator for your individual journey. Just because one group of people say that something is dark, it does not mean that it is physically dark. It is what they have been told for generations and generations, and they don't know any better. Okay? You will know if it's God speaking to you, and you will know if it is the devil speaking to you, because the devil, negative energy, wants you to do harm. It wants you to put people down. It wants you to speak in a certain way that will take power away from people. Everything that Tatiana says give people power. Even if you're unaware of the power that you are receiving from it, you are getting power from it. So when people ask me, well, how you know what you say is wrong or right? Because I'm saying it. I wouldn't be saying it if I knew that it was wrong. And I knew that I would be getting my karma from saying that. That's another thing. I'm very big on my karma. I'm not going to do anything or say anything that can harm me in the process of blocking my blessings, being able to take care of my son in the appropriate way, me not having to struggle, me not having to go through darkness. I'm not going to post any content that will ruin my relationship with God for no material gain. I'm just not. I'm not. I love the world. I love y'all. I love the spirits and the unconscious spirits that is on this planet. But my relationship with God is number one. Number one. So if God does not like what I have to say, I'm not going to post it. There is a lot of things that I have said and recorded that I have not posted because it just did not feel right. I am legit a vessel. God has full control over everything that I do. I am fully open. I don't dictate how God wants me to say it. I think I said this earlier. I don't. Everything I do is for God. I work for God. Now, just because I work for God does not mean that I don't have moments where the human part of me overpowers and we do things wrong or we say things wrong. I still have a brain, and my brain can still dictate my behavior at certain times that I'm not fully aware and I'm not fully present in the moment. But that does not stop my relationship with God. My actions that I take after that dictates my relationship with God, if that makes sense. So when the church or people, I don't want to say that, but when the church or people, God wants me to say this, when the church or people try to make you feel like you have to be perfect or you can't cuss or you can't do this or you can't do that, that has nothing to do with God. They are telling you that you have not went to the Creator and asked the Creator for you individually for where you are on your journey. Is it okay for you to do that? Nobody is here to be perfect. We are all here to be spiritual beings inside of a body that has a brain, and this brain can talk, this brain can dictate, this brain can make you move at a bus of a moment. This brain can dictate you. And we are all here to live a balanced experience. We are here to grow, learn, and have fun. You are not here to just live no boring life. You're not. You can have fun. You can experience, but it is about the manner which you do it. It is about you doing it consciously or unconsciously. It is about who you listen to and who you don't listen to. I say this a lot in my videos, and people think that I'm not being serious, but you don't have to believe anything that I say. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to question me. I want you to doubt me. I want you to say, God, she lying, so God can show you that I'm telling the truth. People who is truly from God, people who is really hired by God, ooh, um, don't want nothing from you. We don't need you to believe us. We don't need you to trust us. You ain't gotta trust me. Trust God. And I'm just being 1,000 right now. I'm being like a whole 1,000. You don't have to trust me. You don't have to believe me. Go to God. Ask God for confirmation. That's my whole point. My whole point is to lead the unconscious beings back to our Creator. So, if I ever say something in one of the future episodes that your mind does not agree to, go to God first. Go search what I'm saying. Everything that I'm saying is nothing new. Everything that I'm saying has been told over and over and over again. It's just the unconscious world has been able to manipulate the mass collective into believing their toxicity. So when truth comes out, nobody wants to hear because y'all are sitting in the position of your mind. The mind is in control of the world, of America, which is a part of the main issue. Okay? All right, since we got that out the way, now let me get to this part. So, in my future episodes, I will be, speaking on the topics that I normally speak on. If you haven't seen any of the videos, I would ask that you go to my YouTube channel, Clone Tatiana, where this is posted. So you should see this, or if you're on any other platform watching this, go to my YouTube channel, Clone Tatiana, to see all of my previous videos. And I will stick to that type of content. It will just be more of me indulging in it, but also speaking more directly to the spiritual things that I wanted to teach and guide you guys to. So, yeah, yeah. Yeah, y'all. I just genuinely wanted to just get started. Let me say this. So I genuinely move off energy. I genuinely do. But that is no excuse. So this podcast is going to require me to step outside of my own comfortability of doing things when my energy feels like it. I'm gonna have to really start directing my energy more. I say a lot, but yeah, that's a good vibration. Always say. People try to tell you not to say. You should say. It calms you. It calms my mind when I'm speaking. Okay. So before I wrap up this first episode, I just genuinely wanted to say thank y'all again. Thank y'all for loving me. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thank y'all for sharing my videos, liking my videos, commenting, showing y'all mamas, your cousins, your aunties, your fathers. Even if you disagree with me, I genuinely appreciate y'all. I wanted to say this, right? I don't know if a lot of y'all know, but I do post a lot of content about my people, black people, and I also post a lot of content that could come off disrespectful to some groups of people. But I want to say this to clarify anything or anybody. I deal with God first. We are all connected to the Creator, no matter what shape, what color, what your choices are here on earth. At the end of the day, we are all connected to the Creator. And the whole point of the world is to try to disconnect God's people to, how can I say this? To do the things that they want to do here on earth. The world is supposed to be mean. The world is supposed to be angry. The world is supposed to be bad. The world is supposed to be the way that it is. It's the world. The world was not made for you. The world was not created for you. You came to the world and you're going to leave the world. Genuinely. Genuinely. And a lot of the things that we go through, it's because we are listening to the wrong people instead of listening to the Creator. A lot of people are following each other and what these humans are saying, but you should always be going back to God and asking God what is right and what is real for you. Even the things that I say might not be right for your journey. My videos are not for everybody. My messages are not for everybody. And I had to realize that too. We all have a gift inside of us. We all have a direction that we are supposed to be going in. You know what I mean? And sometimes our minds can get so big that it thinks that it knows more, or it thinks because it's gotten to a certain point, it don't need to learn nothing no more. But if you are ever in those moments, that is a moment for you to become self-aware and to become spiritually conscious of your mind and what your mind is telling you. Your mind has to trust you. Your mind has to know that you have its back. You and your mind are two. Y'all are not one. You are inside of a body having a experience, and you have a mind. Your mind is an organ like anything else. You do not think, you receive information from your mind. You can sit in the you can sit and ramble your mind for the information that is already inside of it, but you don't think. When the school system used to teach y'all, oh well, you don't think, you receive. You receive emotions, you receive insight, you receive it all. You are receiving it because you are just sitting inside this body. You receive. You don't think. Your mind is speaking to you. When when you're at work and you don't want to hear any noise, that's coming from your mind. You're drowning out your mind. Your mind is yelling at you about an issue that it's having, and you're telling it to shut up by turning your music up louder. Every day, y'all are disrespecting yourself, but you're trying to be accepted by the world. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. But I'm going to say this from a spiritual perspective. You are not depressed. You are depressing your mind. Whenever your mind has something to say, whenever all those thoughts come up, when all of those feelings come up, you push it down. You're depressing them. You're depressing them. Oh, that anxiety that is coming over you. You are having anxiety about the future of what could happen or what could not happen. You need to learn how to pull your mind back into the present moment. All of the issues that we are having on this planet, it is due to the lack of communication with your own mind. But I'm not a doctor. But if you know what I'm saying is truth, like, comment, share. I really do appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Wait for the next episode. I will be posting an episode every Friday. Every Friday. So when you are seeing this on Friday, put a green heart, put an orange heart. But green is the main color. I love y'all. I'm Tatiana. See you later. Bye.